start over. Around the holidays, it brings out some kind of craftiness in lots of people, and I too get the bug. I'm gonna show you 3 different wrapping DIYs. Okay, craft paper is a great thing to have around the house all the time. We buy it in bulk from Staples, like a giant roll of it, and it's good in the office, and I find it's especially good at home because there's always scrap drawing paper for the kids. And it's great when you need to wrap a present last minute because you can leave it just like this and put a beautiful bow on it, or you can do some fun crafting projects, which I will show you right now. A common problem you run into, whether it's the holidays or a birthday party where you're wrapping multiple presents, is you have the wrapping paper that you love and you've run out, or you're stuck with an odd-shaped amount of paper and a larger present to wrap, something like this, perhaps. So I have a little DIY that can incorporate these to sort of work together. I mean, they look all right now, but work together even better. And it is making a little kirigami bow and also a wrapping ribbon. Thank you. For this first one, what I'm gonna do is make a ribbon out of paper. So you're just gonna cut a strip on the long piece. So I've got my trusty ruler, and hopefully they can time lapse this because it's gonna get kind of boring. It doesn't have to be totally perfect because I like to fold the edges down so it looks nice and neat. Just like Martha Stewart, right? Nothing like watching me cut paper. So, now I'm going to take the ruler and I'm just gonna use it to fold the edge down a little bit just so it's nice and clean. But you can also just leave it as, if you've got a nice straight edge, you can leave that too, okay? So, now that we have our ribbon, you get a sense of what I'm gonna do here. So you can wrap it around this way and just tape it. Ideally, you're gonna have something long enough. We might have to edit this part out. Measure to make sure you have enough space. Obviously, we're gonna do a bow for this one because it's not gonna fit there. Anyway, so you can just either glue gun or whatever. You've got a little ribbon and it's gonna tie in a little bit nicer with your other packages. So let's just cut this. Can you tell I'm not super crafty? It's like crafting for dummies. Okay, there's one. Now this next one looks like it's gonna be too hard because as you can see, I'm not super good at crafting. But it's really actually, if you do it a couple of times, it gets really easy. And that is making one of these lovely little kirigami bows. So kirigami is like origami, except it involves a little bit of cutting. I'm gonna just take, I pre-cut a piece, so I cheated a little bit, but I didn't want to make you watch me cut any more paper. The only thing that you need to know about this is it's much easier if you start out with a perfect square. So it doesn't have to be like perfect, but it's gonna get hard if you don't use a square, much like origami. So we're gonna start by folding it in all directions. So we're gonna fold it in half. I'm gonna do it both ways just so I have really good creases. And then fold it in half another way. When I look down, do I have a double chin? So now I'm gonna fold it the other way. So just make sure you line up the corners as much as you can. And again, I'm just gonna do it once more on the other side. Okay, so you're gonna have this sort of star shape everywhere. Now you're gonna wanna take it like this so that the colored side is on the inside. You're going to bring two corners together and fold it all in until you have sort of another little mini square, okay? And then we're gonna fold this top part, and that's gonna be the center of your bow. So I'll fold down. We don't wanna make it too big, but we also don't wanna make it too small. So I've folded it about this much. And you're gonna fold it on both sides. And just make sure you can really see the crease, because that's gonna help you in this next step. So now you're gonna open it up again, and you have sort of a little box in the center. And what we're gonna do, this is maybe one of the trickier parts, is you're gonna hold down the center of it and fold around the boxes so that the box gets sort of inverted, if that makes sense. So kind of made it like this, and we're gonna push that part in till it sort of closes like this. So there we go. Looks the same, but now the box is inside. And then we're gonna take these sides and fold them over. Kind of like you're making a paper airplane. Okay, so I've folded one side down. I'm gonna fold the other side so that it lines up. I did not do origami as a child, despite my Japanese heritage. So again, if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so now we have our sides folded down here, and we're going to flip this over and take a look at our little box here. So you can see we've made a nice little box in the center. Now, this is where the cutting comes in. So we're going to cut on the inside of each of these. So if you're holding it like this, it's the inside pieces. So now that we have our cuts, we're going to fold one side over like this. So we have sort of, you can see the bow starting to take shape. And then we're going to fold these parts over where the bow is going to be. So taking from the pointed edge, we're gonna fold over to the center line. And then over again on the other side. And same on the other side again. Just try to make sure that these two pieces line up, because you do see it on the other side. So there's no white. Now, this bottom part we're gonna have to cut so that the bow can separate. Actually, maybe we'll fold over first. So you're gonna fold these sides over a little bit, just a little bit. So there's a little triangle, and then on the other side as well. Okay. And now I'm going to just cut that line in the center. And I'm going to fold again. And one more time on the other side. So now, to make the bow a little bit prettier, and this pointy bow, you're gonna take these sides and fold them and tuck them into the little box part. And if they're starting to slip out, you can always use a little bit of glue to sort of keep them in place, but they should sort of just slide in. Okay, so sometimes it looks pretty to have the little piece at the end, but mine you can see a little bit of the white, so I'm just gonna snip that off. And then you would just take a little tape, or you could use a little bit of glue. I'm gonna use tape. Voila, a nice little bow on your gift. So suddenly these all look like you didn't run out of paper and you wanted it to look like that, which is what it's all about, making it look like you did it on purpose. Another thing that people love to do around the holidays is bake. And some people like to make gingerbread houses. I do not. I would rather make just a regular cookie and put it in a bag that looks like a gingerbread house. So I've made these little gingerbread bags with just a simple paper bag, which you can get at the grocery store. These I actually got at Staples too in a giant pack because they're just good to have around. And what we've used is a paint marker, a little white Sharpie, and drawn on where the icing would be. And to finish it off, we just punch some holes in and put a little bow. So you can put whatever, cookies or candies. If you're gonna put cookies, it's always good to use a little wax paper or something just so it doesn't ruin the bag. But I'll show you how to do that right now. So you're gonna start off with just a simple paper bag, and you're gonna fold down the edges like so, so that it looks like a roof. I've hole punched one already. You just punch a couple of holes in it, and those are gonna be your flaps that you're gonna tie afterwards. So we've got the startings of our little house here. To start our gingerbread, we're gonna do the outline of it because that is how a real gingerbread house is all connected. So you're just going to follow the lines of the bag with your Sharpie. You could use paint too. I just find it's way easier to use these white paint markers. Here we have the beginnings of our house, okay? And then it's up to you however you want to decorate it. So we've done a couple of different versions, but let's just see where it takes us, okay? I like to start with the roof. So I think I'm gonna do a little scalloped roof. See how that goes. But really, just like when you're making a gingerbread, you know, it's kind of anything goes. Hopefully no one will judge you too harshly. It's all about the effort, you know what I'm saying? You know what, this is like a better one to do with kids because the gingerbread, first of all, is incredibly messy, and there's like lots of candy, and then there's like the constant battle over when they can eat the gingerbread, and the truth is never. You just can never eat it. So, because by the time you're done with it, it's like stale and gross. So this is much better. So I think I'll do maybe like a little curved door, maybe with a little window. You can do a couple of windows on the side. The great thing is too, when you have a lot of paper bags, you can play around and start over if you need to. I guess I'll do maybe 2 more upper windows. A little bit of snow. So you can see that it's starting to sort of take shape. Right? It's kind of cute. And then again, I'm going to just then fill the bag up with whatever treats, and then when you're done, steal this ribbon from the other bag because only brought a little bit of ribbon. So you're just gonna thread it through one end, starting from the bottom, and then thread it through the other end. I've been trying to teach my kids to try their shoes. This is also a good way to help them. There you go. So you've got your little gingerbread house. Okay. All right. Moving on to my last one. Excuse me for a minute. Our last DIY is one that's inspired by nature. So first you're gonna wrap the present in your craft paper, and then you're going to find your greens. Perhaps you want to take it from your Christmas tree or the evergreen outside your house or at your neighbor's house, if they let you, or else do it at night. And we're going to make a little mini tree. So for this, we just need the craft paper, glue gun, and some greens. Looks like a little wee tree. Once you know where you'd like to place him on the gift, then you're gonna take your glue gun, just a couple of dots of glue, and then put it on. It's like pretty easy. I mean, this isn't something you're gonna wanna shake around. It's a little bit more delicate, but I think it's quite pretty and worth the extra care. I'm gonna just do this here. I think if we get it quickly enough, it'll work. See, looks very nice like that. And then we're going to finish it off with this little tiny birch bark star. There we go. And Merry Christmas. So there we have it. 3 fairly easy DIY wrapping ideas for the holidays.